Allie Waddell here with Diana Lane, the Holistic Hotness. And thank you for joining me on Wellness Posse Wednesday. She is one of my newly very good friends from the Austin Women Entrepreneur Group, which has really been the best thing that I've done since coming back to Austin in the last year and a half. It really has brought me connection to women that run their own businesses, and has allowed me to grow my business in ways and feel supported and really socially gain so many amazing, strong, independent women that I didn't really realize there were so many of us, I guess. But it's fantastic. And if you're in Austin and you are a women business owner, I really, really implore you to join our group, because we have a lot of fun and do incredible. A lot of badass stuff. And we have really cool meetups and do all kinds of stuff. So that's a little side tangent. But as we do every week, I bring some of my favorite wellness professionals in, and we really talk about what real wellness means to us, so we can elevate the conversation from this quick fix, juice fast, wrap yourself in saran wrap, shoot your face with Botox stuff, to really lasting transformation through self-love, self-testing, and self-knowledge. And she has an amazing story that I can't wait for the Wellness Posse to hear, but I'm gonna let her just do her brief introduction and then we'll jump on in.
Awesome, thanks Allie. So my name is Diana Lane, and I've been in the health and wellness space for about 10 years now. It started out on a journey to become a cardiothoracic surgeon. So I transferred quickly into acupuncture and Chinese medicine.
It's almost the same.
right, almost, kind of close. But I view myself as kind of the perfect conglomeration of a little bit of science and a little bit of woo. So I do acupuncture, Chinese herbal medicine, holistic skincare, and then I throw in like some crystal sound and light therapy. So a little bit of everything. And my big passion is transformational advocacy for women's wellness. So earlier this year, I started the Holistic Hotness, and it is an open forum platform for community consciousness, really breaking through the confines of body dysmorphia and kind of the faux beauty that society and the media has really implanted on people and women specifically. So breaking through some of those confines, we have meetups and events, we go on adventures, and I make funny videos where I put bananas and stuff on my face, and it's a pretty good time. So yeah, I'm really excited to share this passion and really help women know that there are alternatives to some of the modern cosmetic procedures that are really promoted and supported right now in the Western medical world. So,
yeah. Well, so let's just jump on in. So we've talked about, of course, your wellness philosophy, but kind of share with the Wellness Posse, what is your kind of general idea of what does real wellness mean to you?
Yeah, so I mean, the truth is that nature knows. I mean, even modern day medicine is built on like taking ascorbic acid, vitamin C from fruits and things like that, and using just the isolated portions of it. So really getting back to nature and your heart. I mean, that's the truth of it all, is that anything you need for healing you can find usually in your local farms or grocery stores or farmers markets. Beyond that, like I said, true healing really starts from within. So it's a journey that you have with yourself, and that I feel fortunate to share with people. Like, I don't say I'm a healer or I'm gonna heal you. Like, this is something we do together. So that transformation from your heart really comes from within, and we're a compendium, right? Like our surroundings really influence us. So your indulgences, your thoughts, your actions, the things you eat, the people you surround yourself really impact who you are and how you feel and how you look and your life in general. So really trying to stay true to that nature knows component and doing what's best for yourself and for your being, and just doing things that fill your soul is really important.
Yeah, completely aligned with kind of what we've talked about with a lot of wellness professionals. Excuse me.
Don't do that. Don't do it. Don't die. Water break.
Hold on. Water break. Hydration is very important.
Yes, true. We'll talk about that in a little bit.
I don't know what happened there. So, yeah, like what I've said around my healing was, until I death gripped my fitness and wellness for the majority of my life. I mean, just like, I will force you, body, to be in shape and to look amazing. But really, you know, by punishing myself in the gym, overtraining, under eating, going on, fasting and then binge eating, this whole cyclical gaining weight, losing weight. It's summer, let's not eat anything, this whole kind of very destructive, unhealthy, healthy lifestyle that so many people live on. But until I really looked inside and was like, why are you doing everything you're doing? What is your soul crying for that you're actually not listening to? And until I actually tuned in, got some self-compassion and self-love, and healed my inside, did my body be like, oh, you want to be like this? Oh, look, we can do that. It's really not even that big a deal. It's just been such an interesting transformation of that mental shift from when you actually look inside, what actually happens in the outside.
True. So I have a really similar story. I mean, my wellness journey started with that personal component of growth. I grew up in Santa Fe, New Mexico, which is not known for being the healthiest state in our country. I'm just saying, we like lots of chili and beans and stuff like that. So I was like that typical high school student, like breakfast of champions, Doritos and Dr. Pepper. Yeah, that was a regular for me. And fast food whenever. And it really became apparent that things were happening in my body that were not the best for my growth and my overall health and wellness. So I went inside just like you did and said, well, wait, what really matters? Like when it comes to longevity and opulent self-love and caring for this temple that I've been blessed with, like where do I even begin? So I got into nutrition, and that was kind of the segue into everything. And then it was like, oh, okay, pre-med, like obviously I want to help people, I want to change the world. And it became really apparent. I did a cardiac rehab internship program up at Western, and heart surgery was really cool. I'm
sure.
Lying. Seeing heart surgery was awesome.
Yeah.
But watching people with their second or third stent, 2 coronary artery bypass surgeries, it broke me inside. I realized that there had to be a better way, something that I could do to prevent people from even getting to that point where they're having heart failure and all these congestive issues. So I delved into kind of everything. I looked into chiropractic, Ayurveda, naturopathy, PT, the whole gamut, and ultimately Chinese medicine resonated the most with my soul. It was a true comprehensive medical system that took all of these things into consideration, right? Like the way our environment influences us. I mean, we're in Texas, it's hot outside, it's like 90-something degrees. And think about it, when you're inundated with heat, you get grumpy, you don't want to eat, you kind of just feel like, ugh, and that literally is pathogenic heat influencing your body, the redness in the face, the whole 9 yards. So the more I learned, the more it made sense. And I just jumped right in. So 7.5 years later, from undergrad to licensure, I got my license and started practicing. Spent a couple months in Southeast Asia, studied in China, got to like see straight up like Chinese medicine in is way different than anything you'll experience here. But,
what was that different? Like what was the difference in kind of learning modalities, China versus the US? Because you did most of your study here in the US. Where was that?
Yeah, at AOMA actually, right in Austin.
Oh,
so,
cool.
Yeah,
okay.
local, which was really great.
Yeah.
Awesome program. And so it's very different. You know, there's a lot less precise standards, I guess is the way to say it. Like there's a thing called eSTEM, and in China they literally had, we have like little alligator clips that you stick on needles, and they do like the tens unit kind of pulses. Yeah. Well, in China it's like an open wire that they just like wrap around a needle and just like, there you go, buzz. They also had a lot of apitherapy, which is bee acupuncture, so that was really interesting.
Really? With actual bees?
Little bees, and they take them and they...
Whoa!
Yeah, so I mean, they do that in the States too, but very different. You know, in China you can kind of be a little bit more straightforward with acupuncture, like the stroke unit. Yeah. When patients get through a stroke, they go right to the acupuncture ward, and that's where they do all of their healing in, because the neurological benefits of acupuncture is just out of this world. So whereas people don't really realize, like, you can treat anything from allergies to zits with acupuncture. Yeah. They're a little less open to it in the States.
Yeah. And well, they've had a few thousand years to kind of have it feed into their culture.
Right.
I mean, for most people, I would say it would be in the last, I mean, maybe 20 years if you're in the know in an area. but probably in the last 5 to 10 in kind of general population, whereas acupuncture is a therapy that people have heard, at least most people have heard of,
Raised with that.
even though maybe still the majority of people don't use it for a lot of things. I think most people think of it for physical therapy, kind of esque, muscular, that line, as opposed to using it for colds. I had no idea that you could use it. She came in, the first time I met her was at one of the women's entrepreneur groups, and she was like, oh yeah, we do like facelift Botox stuff with acupuncture. I was like, excuse me, what?
Yeah.
I was like, I had never heard of that ever in my life. I was like, that's the coolest thing I've ever heard.
Yeah, it really is. And you know, I love this joke because like the side effects of acupuncture are like weight loss, better mood, better sleep, like, and great skin. Like, horrible side effects.
Yeah, that sounds terrible.
Yeah. So my favorite new thing is that the Veterans Affairs Association is now approving acupuncture for vets. So I've had an opportunity to work with a lot of veterans, and usually we're kind of like a last resort, and then they say, why didn't I find you earlier? And I'm like, I know, but you found me now, so that's okay.
Well, that must be really cool to see.
It's really nice to be able to give back. I mean, people, they sacrifice their lives for us and put themselves on the line, so it feels great to give back in that way. We're not doing a lot of facial acupuncture with them, just saying.
But they can.
They can if they want to.
So we kind of talked about your path, and then I really like to talk about what are the conversations, you know, what I've really struggled with is I see a lot of wellness professionals. I've been in this industry for about 17 years, and a lot of wellness professionals are either intimidated to have certain conversations, they don't know how to bring up certain conversations, or they maybe haven't done self-healing enough and don't want to bring up the conversation because it's gonna kind of reflect back on them. What are those kind of conversations that you've seen wellness professionals not have with their clients that maybe you wish were discussed more?
Totally. So some people will go ahead and say that prevention is the best medicine. Not all practitioners are really on this comprehensive collaborative care model. So like having a healing team is the best thing you can do. I refer my patients to chiropractors. I refer them to awesome trainers like Allie. I love having a group of people as like part of your healing crew because it's a journey and you can't just get there with any one step. There is no one right answer. Like Western medicine totally has its place, and so does Eastern medicine. So as the integrative model grows, having more of that like cross support for multimodality and multifaceted approaches, because then you're not just treating the symptoms with pharmaceutical band-aids. You actually can get to the root of a lot of constitutional or underlying issues by getting into what's going on in the body besides just like, oh, neck pain. Like what else is happening with you? So.
Completely. And that's something that I have always been very into. I'm very into networking and kind of connecting people. But one of the things that I've gotten kickback from with certain people in the wellness profession is they are our profession. I'm sure every profession is like this, but I can just speak for ours, is they tend to be a little scarcity driven. Like if I tell anybody about going maybe to go see a different person, like a PT or something, then I might lose them. Whereas my view has always been, if our job and my goal is really to have my client be as healthy and thriving as possible, I cannot be the only person in charge helping them with their wellness. I do not have that knowledge. I actually have a very wide range of knowledge, being that I've done a million different things, but there are times where I need somebody to go to a PT. I need somebody to get acupuncture. I need somebody to go get cryo. I need somebody to go to the chiropractor. Like, and I really view that as like, I'm not sending them to you because we're on this referral thing and I expect you to only, no. And I have like I have a wider range of people that I feel like certain people will fit with, which I think is really great. But have you found a way to kind of get around that? Have you found that similarly?
Yeah, so I faced that myself, even going like, oh, like I referred a patient to somebody and then they kind of like cut down and dwindled off over time, and there was part of me that like took it personal at first. And was like, do I suck? And it was like, no, that's totally not the case. And it really does boil down to what results are happening and how you like work with that professional, because it's all about having the right practitioner. Like you could see 5 acupuncturists and maybe there's one of them that you actually are energetically open to healing with.
Completely.
So it really is like abundance mindset all the way, realizing that there is more love and money and patience and anything you need in the universe. There are more people out here than you could ever imagine, all looking for something different. And so just being that open platform and understanding that if I refer a patient and they decide to go and do PT more than they do acupuncture, that's what they need for where they're at. And I fully support that. Yeah. And it's all about really promoting their healing process and not getting caught up in like,
that's all ego.
Yeah, all ego.
That's all ego when you get like, oh, well, they don't like me anymore. And then the other thing I really like about that is not only just referring, but then being able to actually have the conversations with the other wellness practitioners they work for. That's the other thing that I always thought was so interesting. I used to work for very, very high-end families, and these people spent, I mean, insane amounts of money, hundreds of thousands of dollars a year on their general wellness. Right. I mean, they just did. I was their trainer or their chef, and never the two shall talk to each other. Like, nobody was talking to each other. I'm like, why are we, you're spending all this money and all this time and energy to have all these people take care of you, yet you're not letting any of us, or we're not taking the steps to actually talk to each other, because I need to do what's in alignment with your PT. Because if I'm your trainer and I'm not, or your Chinese medicine doctor, and then I'm feeding you certain stuff and that's not in alignment, we're actually fighting against each other as opposed to...
Which is like the opposite of what should be happening, right? Like, let's all work together, we can all get along, like, collaborative care.
Well, and then that we can actually get our clients to take the next step, because they actually will see change a lot faster.
Yes, totally.
So... this is one of my favorite parts, is like, because I'm really big into like tiny tweaks, tips, practices that kind of everybody can implement, that are not hard, that are not expensive, that actually do have impact. Because people think transformation means everything changes all at once and then I'm a whole new person and ta-da, I wave my magic wand. So what are kind of your like go-to 2 or 3 things that you tell people, like, if you do these, it really does have a vast impact on your wellness?
Absolutely. So one of the biggest things you can do is create a respectful relationship with yourself and your body. This means simple things like getting adequate hydration and proper nutrition. We should all be drinking about a half to a full ounce of water per pound of body weight, and then eating organic fruits and vegetables. I fully support eating meat. Don't get me wrong. Eat meat if you like it, because I do anyways. But those kinds of things, really nourishing your body from the inside out. Beyond that, maintaining good activity levels. Like, if you don't take care of the rest of this, you will waste away. So finding things that, not just like you're saying, like hitting it at the gym and pumping weights and being like, oh yeah, if that's your thing, by all means do it. But if you like to dance, go out and dance. If you like to sing or walk around on the green belt, whatever it is, move your body, get out there, and really just utilize this amazing vessel that we were blessed with. And of course, my last piece of advice is to get regular acupuncture. The way it affects your neurotransmitters, it can release endorphins, enkephalins, adenosine, and other cofactors for overall health and wellness, and it can treat everything. I mean, pain, shingles, headaches, weird burning mouth stuff that nobody else understands. I mean, I just see it all in my clinic. So really having just an overall wellness regimen where you take care of yourself with nutrition, exercise, and having a good crew to help heal you.
I love it. I want her, I'm going to actually let her talk about something that I know she really loves. Let's talk about Ecstatic Dance for a second.
Yeah, okay.
She came in, she was like, well, I was dancing on Sunday. And actually, Ellen, who's another girl from our group who I also train, was telling me that she actually went dancing with you. So I want to give this brief shout out.
Shout out to Ellen Smoke, yeah.
And I want you to kind of tell everybody what Ecstatic Dance is and why you love it so much, and kind of what it does and that kind of thing.
So there's a couple classes, but this one specifically is Sundays, 10 a.m. at Sky Candy, and it's a free-form movement class. It's literally a room full of like 100 people. They put on, it's kind of like a crescendo of music. They'll start off slow, and then there's a point in the middle where everyone's just like feeling it. And I like calling it Dance Tribe, because like you don't have to be like ecstatic. You can do whatever you need to do to process your dance moves.
Yeah.
And it's really beautiful. It's just free form movement, and it's interactive. You do not talk. It's all about eye contact and body language and free form, and it's just so beautiful.
I think it sounds so fun. I'm completely going.
Yep. We'll see you guys there this Sunday, right?
Yeah, that's awesome. So kind of also in line with what we talked about, wellness professionals not talking about, what are some of the wellness myths, or especially, one or two that you wish were broken that we could just get rid of by now? In 2017.
2017, I know, right? And this is always like fluctuating. They're like, butter's good, butter's not good, butter's good.
Oh,
butter's
yeah,
not good.
yeah, don't eat coconut oil.
This is actually what we're going to talk about.
Vegetable oil,
this
way better.
Yeah, vegetable oil, super processed. This war on statins and cholesterol is ridiculous. Like, I know, I don't know whether to be like amused or offended by the American Heart Association's article. Coconut oil is good for you. Like, just so everybody knows, it does have saturated fat. That is true. But like, what do you think is in here? Like, our brains, our bodies, we need lipids. We have to have good fats, of course. I mean, don't go out and eat like McDonald's hamburgers every day, but avocados, coconut oil, things that are nutrient dense. They've even found that cholesterol in the levels of 200 to 239 is actually protective for health. It decreases all-cause mortality and is beneficial for longevity. So this whole like war on good fats, I mean, they promoted margarine and vegetable oil in 2 articles, and that just does not, there is no logical background. Even the research says, like in their article, if you read through it, it says this has not, higher saturated fat levels and higher cholesterol levels have not been proven as causality for congestive heart failure.
There's absolutely zero science behind that statement. And it really has to do with inflammation, processed food, and actually cholesterol size. So there's like 2 different sizes of cholesterol, and that actually has a lot to do. And you can get that tested, which is actually a much better test than the standard HDA LDA.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, it's just we're overprescribed pharmaceuticals, and you just follow the money, follow the research, and make your own opinions based on your best educational decision, or talk to wellness professionals who spend lots of nerdy hours on the computer reading
weird science, because people are like, ugh. Well, thank God. I mean, luckily there actually has been a lot of backlash from that article, and the real science has actually come out. So if anybody didn't see it, I did post, Mark Hyman did a really great live video going through the exact science, linking to all the scientific articles, really dispelling what the American Heart Association said. So if you haven't checked that out, look at that.
Eat better.
Yes, eat better. And please just eat real food. If you think vegetable oil is real food, it's not. Vegetable oil is one of the most processed foods that actually is consumed today.
And it turns rancid at a really low burning point, which is why coconut oil is way better.
Yeah. Don't cook with it, please. Okay. So one of my things is for wellness professionals to start being a little more transparent with that we struggle just like everybody else struggles. You know, so many of us put ourselves or our clients put us on some pedestal, and then we feel very scared to actually be honest when we're struggling with things, and what that does is kind of internalize them and make us kind of sicker and more shame-filled if we actually are struggling. So I like to really ask everybody, is there a time that you've struggled with your wellness? And then how did you kind of get yourself back on track?
So like you said, I mean, we're only human, and it's a fluctuation. I mean, I try to live my life in balance. I take really good care of myself and promote a lot of internal healing, so that it's okay if I go out and eat a little bit of gluten-free chocolate cake sometimes. Not a big deal. My biggest struggle in life was I was in the ballet industry for about 10 years. So Black Swan, like that stuff is not too far-fetched. I was dancing with girls who were going to New York City Ballet, and I'm 5'5", and I'm a little curvy, and I got kind of flat feet, and so I was dancing 6 or 7 days a week. I was anorexic, bulimic. I was not taking good care of myself, and I hated my body. I hated myself. I had total body dysmorphia, and it was really scary looking back on it, like how unhealthy I was and how easy it was to like keep it under the radar. So no one really knew that I was like facing this silent struggle. And something just flipped in me one day. Like I was 16 years old, just having this capacity where I was dancing 7 days a week and still unhappy, and I said something has to change, and so I dropped out of ballet, got into belly dancing actually, which was like, then I was too skinny for it, you know, I'm like, I don't have, what am I gonna do? And that really transformed my life. So I started eating better and realizing that the way out is in. So I really just started nourishing myself with whole foods. This was right around the same time where I got into like nutrition and wellness and things like that. And so since then, I've really just done everything I can to maintain a balanced, holistic lifestyle. Like, I will still go out and enjoy myself. Like, I don't get overzealous about like, oh my God, I can, you know, because when you clutch on to that concept, it's so detrimental to your psyche and who you are. So yeah, eating healthy and transferring out of that. I will say, I went to Austin City Ballet a couple months ago with a girl I was nannying, and all of the ballerinas there looked really healthy. They looked really happy. So it's great to see that a lot of that has probably changed in that industry.
Yeah. That industry, although those women are just absolutely some of the most phenomenal athletes you have ever seen in your life, you can see it, that there is a struggle there probably with a lot of them to maintain those physiques. I'm sure is not an easy thing. So that's the end of our normal round. Now we're going to Wildfire Wellness round. So this is our rapid fire questions. You don't have to answer them quickly. I just have to ask them quickly. So what does your first and last 30 minutes of the day look like? Are you good with?
Okay. Yeah, so my first 30 minutes of the day, I usually have a little bit of a snooze. That like 10-minute snooze is typically what gets me through the morning. And then it usually involves getting up, washing my face, brushing my teeth, having warm water with lemon, and then I'm typically out the door to head to the clinic. The last 30 minutes of the day can include either reading a book, drinking some chamomile tea, sometimes taking a bath, meditating, some kind of balance of those things.
Nice. What is some of your favorite wellness books, podcasts, or people?
I love this question. So my top three, Pedram Shojai. I know, right? So founder of well.org and author of The Urban Monk. He is just such a light in the world. His mission is beyond inspirational, and so I fully adore and support him because he's doing it. Other than that, I also really like Dr. Andrew Miles. He does botanical biohacking, so he talks a lot about Chinese medicine and herbal medicine. And then Keith and Michelle Norris from Paleo Effects.
I love them.
They host an amazing event every year here, and they really are. They're stepping out into this soulpreneur and health effects, and they're really pioneering this industry of overall health and wellness.
She's also a part of our group. We love her. What's your spirit animal?
Oh my gosh, okay. This is a good one. So I usually identify with wolves, of course, being Diana, the light of the moon and stuff like that. There's something about the nature of wolves and the way the wolf tribe interacts, the way they care for their sick, the way they take care of each other in general, and the cohesiveness in it. So I really resonate with that. And I'm a little bit of a night owl, so.
Oh, awesome. What would you think your superpower would be?
So I always say if I could pick any superpower, it would be unlimited omniscience. I would want to know, like if I could just like grab a book and be like, okay, I know Mandarin now. All right, I know Kung Fu. Yeah, like infinite downloads from the universe. I would love that superpower. Otherwise, my superpower is just being me.
What advice would you give to your 16-year-old self?
Oh my gosh. Okay, my 16-year-old self, don't get too caught up in self-judgment and self-doubt. Like, you got this.
Yeah. So that's it. That was Wellness Posse Wednesday with my girl Diana Lane. Where can the Wellness Posse find you? What's coming up for you? What if you have an ask for everybody or
totally
anything to do?
So you're welcome to friend me on Facebook, Diana Lane. Otherwise, you can find my group called The Holistic Hotness. It's got 2 little fires on the side, and I'm just community building right now. So I'm going to be creating some products, some fun infographics, and video tutorials for like fun skincare stuff at home. So join the group, check it out, share if you want, and feel free to reach out if you'd like to try some acupuncture.
Yeah, she has super fun events. So she has really cool women and girl-centric. She did kind of like a young women's event, and she does some really, really neat stuff. So make sure that you're following her, friend her, find the Facebook group because she does really, really awesome stuff.
Totally, yeah. We do summer sisterhood sessions
Oh,
where we
yeah.
like wander around outside, and then we do like other ones where we like make masks and stuff like that. Ladies spa days.
It's super fun. Well, thank you so much for
Thanks,
doing
Allie.
this, and I really
This is
appreciate you being my friend and you being a part of this.
Likewise. Bye, everyone.
Thanks, Wellness Posse. See you next
Yeah.
week.